Hey, everybody.
I'm Dr. Nick.
Welcome to the Pawdcast.
Yes, installment number 2. Lots of things going on this week. All right, so I have a few things on the agenda for us to discuss. We got a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. We have travels, so I was away for 2 weeks. The Olympics, and then what did you do this week? So I started softball, so we can discuss that. Anything else on your side?
Last night we watched Man from U.N.C.L.E. Did you ever see that?
Yes, I did. That's not a new movie, though. That was...
No, we just haven't had a chance. We haven't had a chance to see it.
Oh, okay.
So, with Henry Cavill.
Mm-hmm.
So we saw that. We talked about that.
I feel like that was before he was famous. Like, it's got to be like 10 years old at this point. It's before the superhero movies, I feel like.
No, I think it was in between.
Think so?
I think it was after Man of Steel.
Where's
in between, like,
the Google
either
machine.
Man of Steel and Batman v Superman.
All right, here we go. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Oh, wait. 1968. It's clearly a remake.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
It's a television series. Here, okay, the movie. 2015. So maybe not as old as I thought.
No, you're right. Almost 10 years.
Oh, shit.
Math.
That was... Oh, my gosh. 2015, though, like, I feel like in my brain that was yesterday, not 10 years ago. I'm old.
Yeah.
So, speaking of old, I started playing softball.
Okay.
So, last Thursday, so we get back on Wednesday afternoon. We have our first company softball game on Thursday. Now, to set the stage, this is slow pitch softball where your own teammate is pitching to you. And the softball itself is spongy to minimize hurting old people. And and we have a team through my company, and basically it's all about a whole bunch of old people. It's like I think the youngest person on the team is mid-30s, and you know, most are in their 40s. So I stretched my legs. I didn't want to blow a quad out, which I did last year. All this, prepped the whole thing. Didn't throw the ball around enough, apparently, because the first inning, I'm playing center field. Ball goes over my head. Get the ball, throw it. I feel like I ripped my shoulder out. Like pain up here in the back. Made it through the rest of the game. We lost. It's 6-3 or something. 6-3. When I tell you the next morning, I woke up, I felt like I got hit by a truck. My shoulder hurt, my chest hurt, my back hurt, my legs were sore. It was a 7-inning, 70-minute softball game. Slow pitch. I'm getting old. This is bad.
Are you okay now?
I mean, a whole bunch of like Arnica and Advil later. I mean, I'm still like, I got a game in 3 days now on Thursday again, and I'm still kind of working through my shoulder issues.
Did it feel like a knot, or did it feel like you actually just pulled it? Like, did you pull this? Or do you think it's in the rotator?
It was in the chest more.
So it's more, like, it's more this.
Yeah. Not so much here. It's much right here.
Did you try throwing it like
Funky Butt Loving?
Shit, what's the name of that movie?
Rookie of the Year.
Yes, Rookie of the Year.
It's a bit tight. Yeah. That was a good movie. I watched that recently, like a couple months ago. It holds up. It's still a solid movie.
Oh yeah.
I really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that happened, man. You got to stretch.
I know.
You got to stretch it out.
I'm at that age where like I need to spend like a half hour stretching before any amount of physical activity.
That's what I do. That's what I do. And it sucks because like it burns a half hour of whatever you're about to do. But like if I don't, even if I'm doing upper body, I'll still stretch my lower body. There's a doggy again.
That's Mr. Blaze. Mr. Blaze. Blazy.
I wish you could hear me. Blaze. But yeah, if I don't stretch, it's like even upper body, I'll feel it in my lower back or something. You got to stretch, man.
What kind of beer you got, actually? That looks good.
I am
It
drinking
looks creamy.
Cape May. Yeah, double
Seeker.
IPA. Nope, that's the wrong side. Nope. Yeah, baby.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. This is sponsored by Cape May Brewing Company. No, I'm kidding. It's not. But yeah, what they do
someday.
Yeah, someday. Oh god, that'd be awesome. It's cool because on their cans, can you see?
Yes.
They'll tell you like what it pairs good with.
Fish?
So best fish,
Cheeses? Cats?
cheese. What do you say, cheese?
I can't. It's not very clear.
Oh,
I'm just making things up.
it's a beach chair, a fish, and I'm gonna say sausage or hot dog.
Probably hot dogs. Although a double IPA on the beach, that's a choice.
Look at it. It's nice and it's light. It's like, I mean, it's heavy, but it's light.
I know, but like, I feel like on the beach, I don't want to be getting hammered. Like, I feel like if I had 2 of those at the beach, that's like 4 beers.
Well, I got 4 of them down here, so looks like I'm getting fucked up.
I was smart today, actually. I brought a bowl with some ice in it so I could crack my second beer. So
Dan,
I'm drinking.
You and I, man, think alike. I brought my cooler.
I love it.
Libby was like, seriously? I was like, yeah, so I don't have to bug you.
You were thinking of Libby when you made that decision.
I was, I always do. Well, let me say this. Let me ask you this. How did you feel about the last podcast? First off, hold on real quick. How do you say that?
Podcast?
You say what?
Podcast?
You say podcast. I say pod.
Pod?
Yeah. Hey, we're on a podcast. Pod. I don't know why.
Are you
pod.
British?
Or Boston? I don't know. Park the car so we go to the podcast. No, see, pod sounds like Boston.
I mean, a little bit. I mean, it's short for iPod.
Shut your face.
So it's a podcast. It is.
What do you mean it's short for iPod? iPad?
Pod. iPod. Not an iPad. An iPod, like the music player?
Like the old iPods.
The first podcasts were on through the Apple, like, world, and they were called podcasts.
Holy shit. Holy shit. God, that makes so much more sense.
So it's not pod. It's so if you say pod, that's fine, but it's a pronunciation of iPod is what you're doing.
Well, it's an iPod.
Okay. So
wait a second. Can we phone a friend real quick? I gotta tell Libby this. Should we do this on speaker?
Sure.
Okay.
This I think solidifies our potential name for this podcast is the tangent. Because we haven't even gotten to the next thing. We're 20 minutes in.
She might be in the show.
Hello?
Babe.
Yeah.
Real quick.
You're on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the podcast.
Okay.
Okay. We can hear you. Did you... Okay, real quick. Did you know... Dan just told me. Because we were talking about pod and pod. Do you know where podcast come from? Do you know where it comes from?
No, I don't actually.
From the iPod. The very first stream. Is that what you said then? The very first stream?
Yeah. They were on the iPod.
They were on the iPods.
Like downloadable.
And that's why it's called a podcast.
Podcast. Oh, you said it right. Good job.
Well, I'm struggling here. I'm struggling. Okay.
Wow, no, I didn't know that.
Mind blown, right?
Yeah.
All right. I love you. Talk to you later.
Love you too. Okay.
Bye.
We have our first celebrity guest.
First celebrity guest. Look at that, folks. Blew my mind, Dan. Holy shit, I just learned something today.
Every day. If you're not learning something new, you're losing. I always say you should feel dumb at least a couple of times every day. Then if not, you're getting too comfortable. You're not learning things.
Then I'm fucking winning.
All right, so moving it along.
All right, sorry. I keep. I think I'm the one with the tangent problem.
Well, this is where the balance comes into play.
Okay.
Is your
Dan's on track? I'm not.
Your tangent, and I pull us back in. So,
wait, to circle back around. Have you been doing that? Have you been doing that beer trick?
Yes, I have. I did it today.
Okay. How do you feel?
You know what? Less burpy.
See that?
It's
all right.
It's good in my gut as I'm getting to be an old man.
All right, go ahead. Sorry. Let's move forward.
Moving along. So
let's go, kids.
We haven't seen each other in 2 weeks, 3 weeks since the last podcast. I was traveling a lot. What have you been doing? Anything you want to share with the group?
So this weekend, we were starting to move things out of what is going to be the baby's room, which is right now my collectibles and comics room.
Is that the room you're in right now?
No, this is the office. I wanted to do up in the comic room / baby's room, but when we did the construction, there was so much that I wanted to put away because guys were coming in without us being here. I didn't want anything stolen. So the room's a mess. But we bought the week before, we went to IKEA. Oh, yeah, here you go. Can I slide into kind of like, Peeves my titties?
Yes.
Okay. So anyway, I'll get back to that. So we went to IKEA and I picked up a Billy bookcase that's like a foot wide. It's got like 8 shelves, and I got a little light for it. So I put that down there so I could put like some of the collectibles, some of the comics on it, and we got a new TV stand. And we didn't want anything crazy because it's in the basement, right? So we found one at IKEA for like $2 and change. Yeah.
200?
Yeah, 200 and change.
Is that what TV stands cost?
Yeah, dude. Like, unless you're going for like a really like pathetic, basic, like even like Walmart, you weren't finding them less than like $150 to $200.
Damn.
Can you believe that? And then
I guess I haven't bought one in a while. We put all ours on the wall, but those are like $150.
Like the mounts, right?
Yeah.
So so we picked this up. By the way, besides I think the bookcases, when you go to get like a piece of furniture, it's like all separate now. There's no just like, go downstairs to aisle like E15 and there's your whole bed set or there's your whole TV stand. We had to get the list of things that creates this TV stand. Yeah.
So they don't even put them together anymore?
No.
Like I know that you have to physically put them together, but it's not even like a Lego set. It's like you have to go and build your own Lego box.
Right. So we had like 8 different boxes. So we wanted the outside cabinets. You have to get the cabinet so it's a separate. It comes with a set shelves, but we want another set of shelves. We had to get like the hardware that opens it. Yeah, it was crazy. And then so this is what peeves my titties is that I put together this bookcase, and we have the exact same bookcase from Chris and Kara. They gave us when they moved out of their apartment. They couldn't use it. It's older, but it's IKEA and it's brown. But we wanted white because the rest of the furniture is white. I picked theirs up, right, to move it. Thing's heavy, right? I mean, the thing's like 80 inches tall. So it's got some weight to it. I'm like, all right, here we go. I put this thing together. Dan, I could have fucking used it as a baton. That's how light it was. The wood they're using now is so cheap. And the hardware, remember IKEA with they like developed the you have like the pin and you put the thing on and you screw it and it kind of like locks it in. Right. So that piece, that used to be metal, right?
Plastic.
Fucking plastic.
Bullshit.
Fucking plastic.
I mean, IKEA furniture was never high quality anyway, but it sounds like it's even worse now.
Yeah. I mean, look, I put it together. It looks beautiful. And they have it cut down to like 0.2 of a quarter of an inch. I mean, like you really have to like fit it in there. So it's not like this really cheap, wobbly thing, but still like the quality of it. I mean, if it got wet, I think it would fall apart in a second.
You know what is a saving grace for us, not out here in California, but when we lived in New Jersey, because we were so close to Pennsylvania, we used to go to the used furniture stores in like Eastern Pennsylvania. There's tons of them. And it's like Bucks County people. It's like Amish people. and you'd have like some piece of like oak such and such, because there's like no resale value on furniture. Something that was like $1,200 new is like $150 at these used furniture stores, and they're high quality. And that's like all of our furniture is that stuff. And it looks like, you know, we have.
Yeah, but you guys were in an awesome place for antiques.
Yeah.
I mean, you go down every block, there's like an antique store.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we were fortunate. But since we've been out here, we haven't bought anything new because there isn't any options. It's all everything we brought with us.
Yeah, it's all like the big box stores or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what we've been doing. Besides work. How was your trip?
Just my shirt. That was a big part of the trip.
Oh yeah, how was it?
Good.
Did you fall in love?
I mean, I was already in love, but you know. So
you could smell her sweat now.
We were not unfortunately that close. But yeah, so it's been a wild couple of weeks. So I went to Munich like 2 weeks ago. I was at the AIDS conference, which was wild. Really good conference, you know, super busy. We had lots of speakers and things that we were organizing up and whatever, going to sessions. But then Lauren, so I had the hotel for another 2 nights at the end, and Lauren flew out on I guess she got there Thursday morning, and so she stayed Thursday night and Friday night in the one hotel that I had from work, and then we moved to another hotel and we stayed until Wednesday, so like 5 or 6 days she was there, which was awesome, which was so much fun because usually these work trips I'm just like killing myself, and it's still fun, and you know, go back to the hotel room by yourself. And on Thursday I was at the conference all day long, and I came back to the hotel and Lauren was there, so it was actually a lot of fun.
Nice.
And so we toured through Munich, went to the BMW museum. So it's the BMW headquarters is in Munich, and so they have this huge museum and like BMW World thing, and we spent like a few hours there. So lots of really cool old cars.
That's awesome. And bikes like too, right?
Tons of bikes.
Picture of bikes.
Tons of bikes. I mean, and we learned this. So I knew that they always made bikes, but what I didn't realize fully, and I guess makes total sense, is they started out making airplane engines only. That's what they made. They made engines. And then they started making bikes in like 1930s or something like that. And then it was only after that they made cars. So they were primarily airplane engines, bikes, cars. Dark part of their history is they made all the airplane engines for Hitler during World War II. Yeah. They actually had a whole part of their tour basically saying that like, we acknowledge that we did that and that was bad and we apologize. And they like owned up to their history.
I mean, did they have to apologize? I mean, they didn't really know.
I mean,
right?
But I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, for all we know, like they could have been like under like gunpoint.
That's entirely possible and probably
knowing him.
True. Yeah. It's like, oh, like you could say no, but then we'll kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, so I appreciate them apologizing.
Yeah. So, and along the same lines, so Dachau concentration camp is only about 30 minutes outside of Munich. And it was the first concentration camp that they opened in 1933, which is crazy. So the war didn't start till, the 40s, or the late 30s. And it had been operating for 7 years or something like that before the war even started. So we went there, and that was a sobering experience. It was insane.
You actually went there?
We went there, yeah. We spent like 5 hours just like touring around.
It's a museum now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So they have some of they knocked down a lot of where the people stayed, but they rebuilt 2 of them so you could kind of see where the people were living. But they had all the grounds still. They had, the crematorium was still up, and you could see like the ovens. It was really, really crazy. I felt like I had prepared myself to go, and then when I got there, I was just overwhelmed. It was insane. Just what they did. it just was.
Is it one of those? Is it one of those things that's like worth going though?
Mm-hmm.
Like even though it's sad, it's like if you ever have a chance, like do go and check it out.
Yeah, 100%. You have to. You have to. Yeah. So there's so much history. I mean, you learned all sorts of the background and like, even to the point of like who was there and why. And, initially in the earlier days, it was not a place where they were actively trying to eliminate people or, it was really just a work camp where we're just going to round up people that we don't like or that are our opposers, and we're going to make them work and build things for us. And we're not going to really worry about, living conditions. And so if they don't survive, they don't survive. But it was not like this kind of extermination thing. And then once the war started, it started to shift, and they were just bringing people there to kill them. It just was insane. Yeah. It was like the most awful experience that I have ever had, that I would 100% recommend to anybody, because like you just kind of have to feel that, but yeah.
And it's one of those places that like you when you're in it, you feel the history. Like Libby talks about going to Pompeii when she was in college, and she's like, when you walk the city, you okay?
I didn't want to burp into the microphone.
Oh, I thought you were smelling your armpit. Yeah, she says like, you're walking through like the city and you feel the history.
Mm-hmm. So we did that. That was an interesting experience. And then ate a lot of German food, schnitzel, lots of beer. Went to a couple beer gardens, which was a wild experience. I was not prepared for the beer gardens either. Like the Germans, they take their drinking seriously. Like we went to a beer garden that was right in the city, like not out, in the the country or anything. Just right in the city. So we walk in, we come through this arch, and I come into this courtyard. There must have been 1,000 people, just sitting on picnic tables, just jammed into this. It was just.
And what was it, Saturday?
It was like a Thursday night. It was insane how many people were there, all just drinking. There was a playground in the middle. And so basically everybody comes with their kids. They sit down on these picnic tables. Kids go play. They're all killing each other, on slides and swings and playground. And all the parents are sitting there drinking.
That's awesome.
And the food was great. I mean, huge, awesome pretzels, schnitzel, sausages. And it was all like self-serve. Like you go up to this counter, basically, like a cafeteria style, where you go in and you just kind of put on your plate whatever you want, and then on your way out you pay. But
wow, that's awesome.
So really good beer. Some Spaten, Spaten, I think it's made in Munich. It's beer that I've had in the US, like at beer halls in the US, but I guess this is like where it was from. So cool.
So how's the beer? Like when it's like fresh there, like did you end up
it's really good. You know what? It's all lagers for the most part, and they're very crisp. It's different than US beer. It's kind of, I would describe it as like a really, how we were talking last week about on the last podcast about like just a good drinking beer that has flavor, and how like Coors tastes like can, and I was saying, Miller High Life at least like tastes like beer. That's very much what it was. It was like a really good beer. Tasted like beer, had the flavors of beer, but no off flavors either. So it's just like a high quality beer that isn't a double IPA, doesn't have some special flavors in it, But the kind of beer you want to drink 1 liter of, or 2 liters of. You just kind of lower alcohol. I think they're like 4.2% alcohol, so you can kind of just drink a lot, kind of thing. But yeah,
cool.
It's good, very good. They poured it similar to how you poured it, lots of head. And then they let it settle.
It's the best, bro.
So.
The kids are asleep, right? Kids are asleep. What else did you do? I saw a lot of pictures.
So we did that. We ate at a bunch of we went to a couple castles, actually. So we went to we went to King Ludwig, I think, the second's castle. You'd appreciate this. So this guy, he's the king in like the 1850s, so not that long ago. Not at a time period where you needed a castle. But he had this love for like old timey kings from like the 1500s that had like this all power, and he wanted to feel powerful and have a castle. And so he straight up just spent like a buttload of money and built a freaking castle, like a castle from like.
You know how many people actually do that? There's like a good amount of people that do that.
And he was an old school like castle, but then like because it was the 1850s, he had like electricity in it, so we toured through that, and it was really interesting because like he kind of sounded like he was a little bit of a prima donna, like he just seemed a little full of himself. In the tour, the German speaking tour guide was like making fun of him, basically. Like they don't think very highly of this man. But a cool castle, and apparently was the model that Disney used for the Sleeping Beauty castle. So it's a big like Disney fan.
Wait, like the one you see like in the title sequence and everything?
Yeah.
The big one?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wait, did he so Castle D'Amorosa, the place that we went to in Cali?
Oh yeah.
Right? And that guy
the wine
built
place.
The wine place, yeah, and he built it from scratch, but he pulled all like the wood and the stones from like old castles in Europe and Italy. Did this guy do the same thing, or did he just built it?
He just straight up built it. Like he
pussy
got the stones from a quarry like down the street, and it was built on a location of actually like old castles that had crumbled from like 1000 AD or something. And so it's pretty impressive. I mean, it's legit, but unnecessary, and then ultimately by the time he was like in his 40s or something, his family tried to get him like labeled as psychologically unfit to be king. And they basically forced him out and then forced him to go to like one of their lake houses or something. At which point he then mysteriously drowned in the lake.
Oh boy, conspiracy. All right, yeah. I like it.
Yeah. They said he committed suicide.
Sure.
He was suicided. Ludwig II. Interesting fella. So yeah, so Sunday night was Taylor Swift concert. So when we were planning for the AIDS conference, one of the things we ran into was we needed to book things super early. We knew she was going to be in town. And so then when I was telling Lauren that, she was like, well, maybe we should go. So Lauren flew out. We bought 2 tickets, and we went on Sunday night, and man, what a freaking concert. It was out of control. Opening act was Paramore.
Oh, nice.
And they were amazing. They played like 6 or 7 songs, killed it, like super throwback to high school and college. That was a lot of fun. And then she comes on and she plays for like 3 hours and 45 minutes or 3.5 hours or something. It's an insane concert. And, the theatrics, the singing, the dancers, just everything about it is just nuts. It's one of those things where so much was going on. As soon as it was over, I was like, oh my gosh, like I want to go again. Because like, I feel like it's like watching a movie a second time, but like by knowing what's coming, you can better prepare for yourself to absorb it,
Yeah. So you get it. You get why there's so many Swifties now.
I mean, I'm definitely a Swiftie in that category, but
that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying. But now you've been to a concert.
I've been to a concert.
Yeah, you've been anointed.
So, do you know what Taylor's version means?
Doesn't it have to do with like her versions of some of her studio albums that like she wanted to do, but the studio changed it or something like that, like changed the version. So these are like her versions of the songs.
So basically, she made her first, I guess, 6 albums with one studio called Big Machine Records. She left them, I guess it was like 2018-ish, 2019. And at the time, she had been trying to acquire her masters. So she was wealthy enough that she could have bought them if she wanted to.
Okay.
And they wouldn't sell them to her. Basically, they were strong-arming her and saying, like, well, we'll sell you masters, but for every one we sell you, you have to give us another album. And so they were really giving her crappy deals and all sorts of stuff. And so it was really, the negotiations were failing. And then all of a sudden, the whole company got sold to someone in the business who is not, was not friendly with her. And then they proceeded to sell her masters out from under her to this like investment group, basically. And so she lost all control of her music. And so Kelly Clarkson actually was the first person to tweet about it and said, why don't you just re-record? Because she is the singer and she's also the writer on all of her songs. And so she has the right to record them again, basically.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And make a new version. And nobody does, because it costs like millions of dollars to make a new record. And so why would you do that just to do it? Like, who's going to buy that? She proceeded to do that anyway. And with every album that she re-records, she also adds extra tracks that she had wanted to release, but maybe weren't the best of the best, or didn't fit, or for whatever reason, And so, like, for example, she re-recorded and released 1989. And I think the original album had like 16 songs on it or something. And the re-record had like 30. So like she basically re-recorded it to get her own masters back, but then gave us like an additional 15 songs. And so everybody now only listens to so basically it's this, it'll say 1989 and then in parentheses it'll say Taylor's version. So that's how you know it's the one that she owns for one, but then also has the extra songs.
Wow.
And everything. And so she only has 2 left that she hasn't re-released. And then she'll own all her music.
Dude, she's smart, man. She's a smart,
fucking genius,
smart woman. I'll tell you right now, Taylor. If you're ever watching this, Elizabeth, I love you, but tell what's up. What's up? I love you, honey. We're gonna have a boy. Okay. Dude, I'm telling you, if she ran for president, 100%.
Yeah.
I'd vote for her. Man. Wait, are you done with, hold on, before we go on a tangent. Mm-hmm. Are you done with your story?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay.
That was it.
So you had a great time.
Had a great time.
Man.
I wore this shirt. I got a whole bunch of friendship bracelets, 25 or 30 friendship bracelets on, trading them with people. Which was fun.
Is that what you guys do? Okay. I don't know. Oh.
You give them to people.
Never been.
For friend.
You give them to people?
For friendship.
You buy them and give them to people and you guys kind of like trade out?
You make them.
You make them?
Yeah, like you get like beads and wire and you make them with something personal and then you give it to someone and now they have something from you and then they give something to you and now you have something from them.
So what did you make?
Lots.
What, I mean, was it the periodic table? Did you do a
No, most were Taylor themed. Lyrics that I really like. Certain ones that speak to me. I'll put that on a bracelet, and so now somebody else has that. Something that.
Did you make them before you guys went out? Like you made them at home?
Yeah, we made them at home.
Okay, that's cool.
It was fun, actually.
I wasn't sure if you were like sitting in the hotel room, like an hour before, like.
It's one of those things where, as an adult, near 40, I have made friendship bracelets for coworkers and friends, and I've never had anybody not like honored to receive one or think like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much. This is amazing." Because it just shows that you're thinking about someone.
That's awesome, man. I would go to one of her concerts. I want to.
Yeah.
Pink.
Oh.
If you guys have a chance to go, we went to Pink last year.
Yeah.
Holy shit, this woman.
Lauren wants to go to Pink. Big time.
Oh my God.
She loves her.
dude, if you guys get a chance, try to get tickets. Right, Taylor's energy, like up here, right?
Yeah.
Same. Performing, she like talks to the audience. She'll be like in the middle of like singing a song and then just stop and be like, wait, what does that sign say? Oh my God, happy birthday. Oh, everybody wish me happy. And the skill this woman has. Jesus Christ.
She's a
if you guys have a
phenomenal
chance.
singer.
Mm-hmm.
She's phenomenal.
Yeah. So yeah, I would love to go to Taylor Swift. The problem is that Athena, I always mess with her. She hates Taylor Swift.
Athena?
Yeah, my niece.
Oh. Really?
Yeah. She's very what's the word? She's not grungy. She's not grunge. Like what we called grunge, but kind of, but cute. Like she'll wear like dresses, like long dresses and like a top, but then like combat boots. It's like that kind of grunge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But yeah, no, she hates Taylor Swift. I don't know why.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to speak for her, but I think in general, you don't have to like Taylor Swift to respect what she does and that she's good at it. You can't deny that even when you're not listening to the music and you read the lyrics, that shit's poetry.
Mm-hmm.
As a writer, you could create a whole book of poetry and teach that in a class, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And it, puts things into words that I could never do. Like, I have a feeling, I don't know how to express it. And then you read it, the lyrics of one of her songs, and you're like, oh yeah, that's how I would have said it. And it becomes, that is a skill that you can't teach. She's born with it. There's a reason she's had a 17, 18-year career and is,
killing it and
killing it. If you don't happen to like pop music or you don't like, folk music and singer-songwriter music, that's fair. But I think people that dislike her, like, altogether, they have like an agenda. They're trying to be cool by not liking her. I think, they've never actually listened to her music.
I think for her, it's the music. Like she's like, I'm not a fan of the music. I think that's what it is. But yeah, I mean, you got to respect the woman. At minimal, you got to respect what she's doing.
Yeah. I mean, you got people like Paul McCartney being, going on record saying she's like, one of the greatest songwriters of our time. Coming from one of the greatest songwriters of our time.
Well, I mean, if that's actually him.
I'm out of beer.
Okay. Do you need to get a beer? You got to bring a cooler, man.
I did. I only brought one. I didn't think I was going to go through more than one.
You moron. All right, folks. So now it's just you and me. Hey, how you doing? So while Dan's gone, we need to discuss some things. Dan doesn't like the fact that I need a condiment. Not a condom. A condiment to eat something. Yeah. So, like, I need ketchup, ranch, maybe ketchup, a little like mayo on it, Dan doesn't like that. Yeah. I don't do it on steak. I used to when I was younger, but not anymore. Oh, he's back. He's back. What's up, buddy?
How's our shop doing? Are you trying to sell things?
The shop? Oh, yeah. We had to order more stuff.
We should have a shop. You got to think big.
We should.
You have to manifest. So is the Tangent the running title at this point?
I don't know. I mean, I like it.
Is there another podcast with that title?
How to look that up? The Tangent.
Spell that.
Tangent. So you got the Tangent SNL. You got the Tangent Music Group. You got the Tangent University, which is a song.
I don't see one. Wait, here we go.
The Fred Show presents the Tangent.
The Tangent podcast from Tangent Media. Sportsologist talking sports.
Is that with Sam Kachubi and Matt Sprazza?
Maybe.
Names.
Fred Show crew. So it seems like
Fred Show on Kiss FM.
Yeah. The Tangent Live. So it does seem like there is a podcast named The Tangent.
Son of a bitch.
All right. Well, back to
All right, back to 2 guys, 1 cup.
Oh gosh.
Wait a second. What's a synonym?
A synonym for tangent.
No. Wow. Synonyms. Synonym. Aside.
The aside. The rambler.
That's his discretion. That took me a second. Discretion. Damn, these are pretty big words. Rambling. The Ramblers. The Ramblers Pawdcast. But I said that wrong. The Ramblers Podcast. The Ramblers Podcast. The Ramblers Podcast. There it is. That's a hard word. Shut up, Dan.
I said it with my eyes. All right.
There's a lot of words here.
I think the conclusion is we still don't have a name. All right.
I don't like that I go off camera when I do that. There we go.
There you go.
But now I don't know. Libby's camera is very focused on me. Can you zoom out?
I don't know.
We're good. We're good, folks. We're good. All right. What's the last segment, Dan?
The Olympics.
Let's go.
The Olympics.
What about them?
Rapid fire. Have you been watching it for one?
Parts.
Favorite sport. Favorite sport.
Like realistically, or like what I like to watch? Because I love to watch the women's volleyball. I'm sorry, honey. I love you so much.
I don't disagree.
God, they're great athletes. What did I see? Well, was watching BMXing the other day.
Oh, I missed that. Was that good?
Yeah, that was cool.
Okay. I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, that was fun. And what else? Well, I mean, the fucking gymnastics team. I mean, the girls' gymnastics team. They're insane.
110% is.
They're so good.
And I mean, Simone Biles on her first pass of the floor routine was getting 12 feet in the air and doing like 2 flips and 3 twists, and it's like pulled my shoulder throwing a fucking softball. And I watched that, and I'm like, oh, she didn't stick the landing, she stepped. And then I have to catch myself and be like, Dan, you hurt yourself because you slept on the couch wrong.
I was pushing too hard when I was pooping. Gonna blow an O-ring. Here though, Dan, she's like what, 22?
27. She's old.
I mean, I remember 27. I was jumping off of horses at 30 miles an hour at 27.
That's true. I mean, I don't agree with the argument, but
I'm just saying. I'm just spitting facts. Just spitting facts.
No, but I mean, I think the fact that she's 27 is incredible. I mean, she's been to 3 Olympics. Like for gymnasts,
which is like that's like unheard of, right?
For gymnasts, yeah, it's absolutely unheard of.
Yeah,
it's insane. Because it's just the body. 27 is old as fuck for a gymnast. Like the typical age is like a 16-year-old that like is tiny and has a high muscle to body mass ratio. And the fact that she's been able to continue doing this.
Calm down, Jesus.
Was not a creepy comment.
Oh,
but anyway,
kidding.
Yeah. Very cool. Her husband was there, which was cool. Jonathan Owens. He's on the Bears. They actually let him out of training camp for a couple of days to fly in and see her, which was awesome. But yeah, so 100%.
Can you imagine having that kind of money? Like, I'm going to miss work for like 2 days. I'm just going to fly over to Paris. And I'm going to come back. You guys won't even miss me. I'm just right back.
I can imagine it not actually happening, but like, yeah, it would be nice.
Yeah, it would be nice, right? It's like the people that are like, hey, you know what? You know what for Italian? Let's go to Sicily.
Yeah. We should go. Have you ever been to Italy?
No, I need to.
Me neither.
My grandfather used to have land out there.
We need to, at some point, plan a trip to Italy. Like you, me, Lauren, Libby. Because I've never been either. And it's like, I've always wanted to go, but we've never had the money.
If we do like excursion.
All right. So rapid fire. Least favorite sport.
Least favorite sport. I love the idea of fencing. I don't understand the shit out of it.
I was gonna say the same thing. I was on this afternoon and I was like, I'm sure this is hard, and I'm sure that this is like something people spend their whole lives perfecting. not a great spectator sport. Like super
No,
boring.
it's just like
they like
oh, got a point.
like it's like 1.3 seconds of swinging whatever, and then the green light goes off, and they reset. And
the thing I saw the other day was, what was it, Friday? It was Japan and I think England, and they both line up for why do they have strings attached to them?
So they're electrified. So like
I'm sorry, what?
They're electrified, so that the string connects to their sword or something, and so when I touch you, your vest is conductive. And so
so they can read when you touch the other,
it
like
knows
when you hit the
when
other
it's
person.
been touched. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, that's pretty cool. All right. So anyway, so you had the Japanese guy, you had the British guy, and they line up. And the British guy's like, "Let's go," and like Japanese is Asian, right? I don't want to be racist. Asian, right?
I mean, it's in Asia. It's one of the countries in Asia.
It's okay to say Asian. The Asian dude. Is that
okay? I mean, I'm not the PC police. I believe it's okay because yes, a Japanese person is Asian.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And he lines up, and they both line up, and then the British dude is like, they don't even start. And he's just like, and then boom, yellow card. I was like, what the hell did he get? What did the Asian dude get a yellow card for? And then he's like, oh,
they have cards?
Yeah, they have like yellow and red cards.
Really?
So then, yeah. So that's what caught my attention. So he got a yellow card. He's like, oh, okay. And he puts his mask down, and they line back up. Oh my God. They line back up, and the British dude's like, and sit. And then he goes, and he like points to the Asian dude again. And I'm like, what is happening right now? The Asian dude got a red card.
Let's call him Japanese. I'm backtracking on the Asian.
See, Dan, I trusted you. Okay.
It just, as you're saying it, it's giving me vibes that I'm not a fan of.
So all right, so the Japanese man. I'm sorry, everyone. But it was Dan. Dan said I was okay. Okay. Wait. Just want you to know.
This is a learning experience.
So
don't trust Dan.
Don't trust Dan. I've been trusting my whole life. Okay.
I try. It was in good faith.
So the Japanese man. So then he gets a red card, and he like pulls the mask up.
What the fuck did he do?
I have no idea. He knew because like he was like really confused, and he looked at the judges, and he was like, "Oh, okay, all right. Sorry. I don't know if he didn't line up right. I don't know if he was like in the wrong footing. But the British dude knew exactly what was going on. Like, you messed up. We got to stop." But then like they said again for the third time, and then they went into it. 2.3 seconds. British dude's got a point. I was like, what did he do? What did he do?
So did he get kicked out?
No, he was fine after that. Then they were.
Okay, so it's like, not like a red card in soccer, where like red card, you're off the pitch.
Is out? Yeah, no. Unless you build up, you get 3 red cards, you're out, or something like that. I don't know. Very confusing. I got to look it up because I like sword work. I could say that like that. But like I didn't get it, and it's a very gentleman sport, right?
It is. I mean, it's like one of the classic Olympic sports. BMX is not classic, but at least BMX is fun to watch.
Yeah. I'm glad we're on the same page with that.
The other one that I came across, I had read an article or listened to something on like the Today Show or something, and they were saying that in most of the world, handball is a very big sport, but in the U.S. it hasn't caught on. So I decided to watch. Right?
You mean the other handball?
I play handball every day. Every day. I should be an expert. But yeah, so I watched it. Honestly, it's like the most boring sport ever. It's like the court is probably similar in size to like a basketball court, but they have a goal, like a big goal, which is
on each side.
On each side.
Okay.
And you have a small ball that's like the size of like
your hand.
It's bigger than that. It's kind of like slightly smaller than like a volleyball, and it's squishy, so they can hold on to it.
So between like a softball and a volleyball.
Yeah, and
like a mini dodgeball.
Yes. Like the soft ones, like when we were in elementary school and they wouldn't let us play with the Voight ones, they had the soft ones so that we didn't get hurt.
Yep.
Like that.
Yep. Okay.
And it's like 5-on-5 and they like attack and they pass from side to side and things like that. And you can't move with the ball. You can bounce it once, I think. So you can take like 2 steps with the ball. So like it's kind of like similar to basketball, except you can't dribble around and do fun things. And it's like kind of like soccer, except instead of like kicking with your feet, which like is a certain amount of skill and interesting, it's all your hands. And so like I just don't get it. Like I feel like it's both too easy, is both not fast paced enough, but like also I don't know. And it's a lot of scoring. Like it seems like the goalie is fully inadequate to be able to block these balls. You're way too close. Scores are like 20-18. You know, in
Kind of like basketball.
Yeah, which honestly is like my least favorite sport anyway, as well. I mean,
it's okay. We love basketball players. You guys are awesome.
Too much scoring though.
Like, nothing against you guys.
Give me college basketball any day where they actually play D, and the scores are like 60-50.
You know what should be Olympic sport? Campus golf.
Yes. That would be fun. The last thing I had about the Olympics was, since when did Snoop Dogg become our mascot? Have you seen that?
Listen, let the man fly. I don't know. Martha Stewart was with him. When did they become best friends? When did that happen?
I don't know.
Like 2018 or something.
I'm here for it though. I like it. It was entertaining. It was. You know what? It's been entertaining.
Yeah. Have you seen all the hype around the opening ceremony?
I mean, yes, I've read about it. What in what?
I haven't seen it.
Oh,
I haven't seen it, but I read about it. I don't know how true all of it is.
We watched some of it. We watched like half of it, maybe.
Is what they're saying kind of?
What are they saying?
I knew you were gonna say that. I don't know, that like people are upset that there was like a lot of drag in the opening ceremony, and then also the depiction of the Last Supper with drag.
Mm-hmm.
And now the new one I saw, and again, this is all Instagram. It's all Instagram stuff I'm seeing. Why was there a like 13-year-old kid or something like that, or a 10-year-old kid with the depiction of the Last Supper?
Well, that I didn't see.
You didn't see that?
No.
Supposedly, so where Jesus was with the crown, where she or they were, I don't know, I'll just say they, where they were, and then like one over where Judas is supposed to be, there's also like a little kid there, and everyone's like, why is there a little kid there? Did you see the opening? I didn't watch it. I'm only seeing reclips. There's like a figure came in on a pale horse, like in the opening part, the very opening part. Mm-hmm. It was on the water, and there was like a pale horse, and everyone's like, what does that mean? Is that like death riding in on a pale horse? Look at all the symbolism, everybody. And I'm like, what the hell is going on, dude? It's just a performance. But you saw something, so please.
Yeah, I mean,
give me something.
I'm clearly not qualified to actually discuss it. What I have read in defense is that it was just a very artistic take on both French history as well as a nod to like Greek history in a homage to the games. So a lot of the things that people are offended by were not just done willy-nilly. Like if there was a young kid depicting Jesus, there's like a reason for that. It wasn't like they just decided to change Jesus. It was, because it was a representation of X, Y, and Z or something. So basically the whole opening ceremony was this big story kind of giving, kind of comment to a lot of things in history. And most people that are offended are taking it out of context or taking it taking a snippet and being like, I'm offended by this. But if you actually understood the whole story that was being told as part of it and understood the back story of why they did what they did, it's fine. So I think people are offended for no reason. They just want to be offended.
Typical. Like I said, I didn't see it, and I can only assume that it was an artistic interpretation, and there's people out there not happy with drag and everything that's going on. So of course they're going to see it, harp on it, and they're going to rip it apart.
The one thing that did offend me about the opening ceremony was because they had it on the Seine and it wasn't like in a stadium. A lot of the things that they did were like throughout the river.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was people that paid like thousands of dollars for these like VIP tickets to like watch the opening ceremonies, and they saw like none of it. Or they saw like one of the like 8 things.
Really?
Yeah. People
Wait,
were
I thought it was supposed to
fucking
take
pissed
I
off.
thought it was supposed to take one route.
Well, like the Olympians did, and some of it went down, but a lot of the installments were like only in one place. So people were super pissed.
Well, yeah, I'd be fucking pissed if I spent $1,000 and I was like, oh wow, water. Okay, where's the fucking parade, man? Dan's like, that's all my notes. I don't have.
That's all
anything.
I got.
That's all you got. Oh, come on.
I did have, if we want to go off on a tangent, the fingers.
The Instagram.
Yeah, liquid.
It's a good question. You want to recap it?
I've got lots of thoughts. So basically the question is, if you can, for the rest of your life, free of charge, shoot out of your fingers 5 different liquids, what would they be?
And that was a good one.
I had a question that could change some of my answers. What do you think the flow rate is?
There's this scientist in him.
Well, because like
no.
because like the question could come up of like, if I want to make money with some of this stuff, I'm going to need large volumes of it. But like, is it dribbling out like a weak faucet?
Like what? I'm sorry, everyone. If you turn it off right now, I understand.
A weak faucet. That's what these call.
I would assume you can control the rate of flow.
But there's got to be a limit. It's like a garden hose. Like, it's only going to come out so much, and your finger is half the size of a garden hose or a quarter the size of a garden hose. So like, you're not like, we're talking like a gallon every few minutes or something max.
Gallon? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, a gallon every few. Yeah, I think so. So like, for example, so
I think the given is water.
Yeah.
Do you agree that water should be one?
I mean, yeah, it's logical. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You could go through the Sahara. You could explore. You never run out of water.
You'd be in the depths of the ocean and got fresh water.
Ooh. Air. What about air?
Is it a liquid then?
Well, was it that specific?
You're a scientist. I gotta ask. Is it? Because I'll take it if it'll count.
Like, yeah, I mean, oxygen can be liquefied. You can make oxygen into a liquid with enough pressure.
Okay.
And if you shoot that out and it expanded, you could breathe it.
But I'm thinking about that's actually a really good one, because if you use oxygen, then after a run or something, right? You know how they have the tubes of oxygen where right? You can just all day.
And so then you could theoretically be at the bottom of the ocean sucking on some oxygen.
Some oxygen. Suck on that oxygen. Okay, the one that threw me through a loop.
So, so life. So for just vitality and life, air, water. Those are the 2 cores. We both in agreement?
Yeah. So just to recap for the audience, there's an Instagram video I sent to Dan, and it was 5? If you could shoot anything out of liquids.
I don't think it's even said liquids. So,
wow, sorry, Dan, amateur.
Amateur hour.
How do you appendages right here? What would you pick? And a lot of people were right. They were wine, beer.
Oh,
right. Those were like the first 2 that everyone. Wine, beer. One guy said whiskey. On tap.
I feel like
okay.
I do wine.
You know what was really smart? The one woman that said petrol.
Yeah.
Gas.
Gasoline. That shit's
That
expensive.
was smart.
Well, and that's where the flow rate question came in. Is, of course, I wouldn't, if I didn't have to pay for gas for the rest of my life, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
But if I could produce enough volume, I could sell that gas and make money. So like, I'm thinking like, I want to use one of these fingers to quit my job.
Ooh, did the government come after you?
I mean, I'll pay taxes on it.
Would you? See, I'm thinking more like zombie apocalypse, right? No matter what, you always got gas.
I mean, you're now you have to bank on the fact that a zombie apocalypse
Dan,
is gonna happen.
If there's nothing that I've learned from COVID, a zombie apocalypse is very possible.
You are on my zombie apocalypse team though. We've talked about this, Lauren and I.
Oh yeah.
That if, first of all, Lauren is like number one. I feel like she has the skill set to survive more than I do, for sure. So I'll be her burden. But then you and Libby, I feel like we all bring different things to the table. I think you and Libby and me and Lauren would be a great combination.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. No, you're on my team. Because the thing is that I would come up with things and then I'd have to go to you to like workshop it and be like, Dan, okay, so I'm thinking that if I fill this up with this, then it'll become a projectile. And you go, Adam, that's not going to work. That canister is way too thin. You're just going to blow yourself up. I go, good call. Okay, so how do we do this better? Yeah, definitely, man. All right, so yeah, water.
Water?
Dan's potentially saying oxygen.
I'm saying air.
Okay, air.
I mean, compressed air is liquid. So it just becomes uncompressed as it comes out. Gasoline.
So that's 3.
I feel like some form of alcohol.
It's very logical. 3. Okay.
I feel like that needs to be on the list. And it's either wine or beer. I think I'd go wine, honestly.
No liquor.
I don't really drink much liquor.
You don't drink liquor?
Vodka from time to time. I'd say
Tanqueray?
I'd say 80% of my drinking is wine.
See, this is why. See, everyone with Dan living in California, right? He's on the other side of the globe. We got to get him back to Jersey, right? Because I got to show him the finer things and whiskey and bourbons, you know?
It's too much, though. Like, anytime I drink, I mean, I have some good whiskeys and things. The next morning, though, like, I feel like it hits me different when I have
up here, like
my head,
like hangover.
Yeah, hangover. Like, and like, there's like an inflammatory response. Like, I feel swollen the next morning when I've
might be the type you're drinking.
Maybe.
It very well could be. It could be like if you might need like rye whiskey.
Maybe.
It could be something like in it.
Like, I could drink a whole bunch of beer. I could drink a whole bunch of wine. I wake up, maybe I got a hangover, maybe I don't. But when I drink whiskeys, I wake up and I feel puffy. Like my whole body is inflamed.
I gotta look into that. That's interesting.
Science.
You might be getting a package from me.
A package?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not my package. You might be getting a package.
I mean.
Hey now. All right, so we only got 3, folks. So we got 3.
No, and liquor. Some form of alcohol.
Okay, so we got 4, but you got to pick one. You got to figure out what it is, Dan. Is it always red wine? Is it always a beer? What beer? You only got one beer. Is it always Coors Light? Is it Bud? So it always stays skunked. It
would always be white wine. I'll get Sauvignon Blanc. That would be my choice.
And you're good drinking Sauvignon Blanc.
It's what I
room temperature. It doesn't come out cold.
I could fill a carafe and put it in the fridge.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but nice.
So what do you do? So
what do you?
I feel like this needs to be a money making finger.
Well, what's more valuable? Gasoline or oil?
Probably gasoline.
But you can create combustible.
With oil, you can make like diesel and gasoline. It's just unrefined.
Right.
But like I'm thinking like, could it be like liquid gold?
One guy said that.
Yeah, but like then it's gonna have to come out hot, and that would burn your fingers. So like I feel like that's off the table. That's a solid. You know, you need something that's liquid, either at room temperature or at least under pressure or something. So I don't think gold is on the table. I don't think any precious metal is.
Queso.
I do like queso.
You like some queso?
I mean, I guess
Okay, here's another question.
Beer,
though.
you could sell beer and wine. That would make some money.
But would people drink it out of you?
I mean, do they have?
I mean, if I was like, oh man, I'm out. I just finished my cake. Man, you walked over. You're like, dude, gotcha. I'll be like, I'm good. Thanks.
I'll wash my hands first. I'll walk around with like sanitizer wipes. Just kind of.
And another question. Okay, now we're diving deep. All right, is there a shutoff valve? Because what if you and the lady having a little fun? You guys are doing your thing, right? Last thing you want to do is fill her up with gasoline. That'll be bad. Just saying. So is there like a double tap? Like, you know, like, I don't know.
There's got to be.
A crack. You're like, all right, here's the flow.
You just think about it.
And the only reason why I thought of that is because of that movie Teeth. Have you ever seen Teeth?
No, I've never even heard of it. I've never even heard of it.
Daniel. You've never seen Teeth?
No.
Oh my God. Okay.
What is it?
Put in your vote right now if you've ever seen Teeth in the comments below. The synopsis is that a female lead in her nether regions actually have teeth.
What kind of movie is this?
It's a horror movie, I think, or a perverted horror movie. I don't know. Yeah, and she has teeth, and she's becoming of age, and she doesn't realize what's going on. And from what I remember, one scene that traumatized the shit on me, but good for the character, is that she's on a boat with a guy. The guy is trying to have his way with her. And she's like, no, stop. And they're like, kind of like, he's like, no, I'm gonna do it. And then she kind of like gets knocked out, right? And the guy's like, all right. And he goes to do the wrong thing. And the teeth protect her. And as soon as and he's like, and he like falls off the boat and it spits and it saved her. I mean, you know, it protected her and stuff. Teeth.
Lorena Bobbitt.
Yeah, real hard.
Oh my gosh.
We watched it in medieval times when we were in between break, and I think we got out like Redbox.
Oh. All right. I mean, I'm game to watch it.
It's so bad.
It's a wild movie.
Yeah, there it is.
Wild
Teeth.
concept for a movie.
Teeth, 2007. It came out on.
Okay.
Horror movie.
Teeth.
Look. Oh, can you see that?
Yeah. 2007. What was that? That's the year I graduated college.
Teeth. Yeah, you could watch it on Tubi.
Tubi.
You can watch it on Amazon for free. You could watch it on.
All right. Next date night movie.
Yeah, you guys will really enjoy it. You guys will really find it amazing. This is the front cover. Wait. There it is.
Ooh.
That's a flower.
Yeah, with teeth in it.
How did we go down this road? I don't know.
Yeah, how did we're still figuring out what the last finger is, the final finger. I don't know. I feel like maybe I just do beer. Wine and beer. So I have each on tap. I can't think of anything creative. Like what's...
I feel like that's good for because you can't drink beer all the time, right? I mean, I love beer, but you can't drink it all the time.
Would be like things that are liquid that are like worth money would be like liquid nitrogen or something you could sell, but like
plutonium, sucker's nuclear.
Technically electric.
Is it? No, I guess it is.
Yeah, it just needs the plutonium to create the reaction to create the 1.21 gigawatts of electricity.
Yep. Dan, I'm just gonna say I'm really upset that you haven't mentioned anything about the fact that I'm having a boy.
Oh gosh, yes. That was in between the last one. Okay.
Yeah.
We got to talk about it. Okay. So since the last time we talked, we knew Adam was having a child. That was the big reveal. I was on a plane going to Munich, and you had your gender reveal, which, by the way, cool as fuck idea.
Yeah.
The cauldron and the smoke basically was like a Harry Potter type thing. Kind of. So you lit something. So, question about the whole thing: did you or Libby know? So someone else bought the like smoke bomb and put it in there, and you just lit it.
No, okay. So what happened was that I found this. So we were playing with an idea. We were like, originally I was going to do a target, and I was going to put a target up, and I was going to shoot arrows, right? And on the target, I was going to have balloons, and within one balloon was going to be the color.
Okay.
But we were going to have like 5 balloons.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I thought about it, I was like, when I have to build this thing, I was like, easiest way would be straw, just like 6 bales of hay, right? I was like, but straw is going to pop the balloon. God forbid there's a wind, it's going to pop the balloon. Everything's going to be ruined. Okay. So then we were always playing with this idea of the cauldron. Like, should we do a cauldron with the smoke? I don't know. But, and I sat down with Libby and I was just like, look, realistically, the arrow could be cool. I was like, but if I'm missing, and then you miss, and I miss, and you miss, and I miss, all of a sudden people are waiting around for 15 minutes for us trying to hit this fucking balloon. I was like, and she was like, yeah, no, that's smart. Okay. So we came up with the cauldron. I found this place called Smoke Effects. They're like this big. They're like the size of your thumb. No more. So call that 3 inches.
Okay.
Ish. And they have blue, they have pink, and then they have a packet of blue and pink. So then we bought the cauldron at Joann's on 17, and we grabbed the white one. And
Joann's
Eddie
fabric?
was the what?
Joann's fabric.
Joann's fabric, yeah, which
Mhm.
isn't just fabric; it's like everything now. So Eddie was the guardian of the gender.
So how does that work?
So
Did he go to the doctor and be like, Adam has authorized me to know? Like, how does that work?
that's exactly how it works. Yeah, right there, Dan. Yeah, nailed it.
Or no?
All right. So no. So what Libby did was she told them that we were doing a gender reveal, and if they could put the information in a sealed envelope, and then Libby went to pick it up, and then gave it to her brother.
Gotcha.
Her brother had it.
All right.
So we tested it out a couple days before when we got the cauldron, and we did a ceramic one. Don't do plastic, anyone. And we tested it out with the white one. So one way to do was dry ice with boiling hot water, and then you have to make like a boat, I guess you could say, for the smoke bomb to sit in, because it's a smoke bomb, and then it kind of sits there and billows out. And we're like, that's a lot of work. Let's just try it. Let's just see what happens if we don't do the dry ice and we just put it right in. Is it going to just like kind of simmer on the inside, or is it actually going to come out and kind of like spill out? So we tested it out with the white one. It was just, and it just billowed out. We're like, dude, that's awesome. Fuck it. Let's do it. That's how we did it. Very long story. Sorry. But that's how that worked out.
No, it was awesome. And then, I mean, it was billowing out blue, and yeah, congrats.
Thank you, man.
You're going to be a boy dad.
I'm glad you guys were able to get on.
Yeah, it was fun. It was really good.
It was chaotic, and we felt horrible because we couldn't like hear you guys at all.
That's all right. We got to see it, and honestly, my flight was delayed. I was supposed to take off at 1:40, and I think you were doing it at 2. And
5. Yeah, 2 at your time.
5. And so I figured, all right, I'll take off, and then once I'm in the air, I'll go on, like I can get the Wi-Fi out on the plane. My flight ended up getting delayed till 2:30. I like it. Perfect.
Just so everyone can see.
And so I was on the plane, but we hadn't taken off yet. So I was just using like cell service. And then like 15 minutes after the reveal, then I just shut down, and then we took off. So it was good.
Okay.
So
I'm glad you were able to do it, man. That meant a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm having a boy.
So you're having a boy. So that's kind of scary. I feel like we've talked about this. If you have a boy, he's going to be another Adam, and then he's also going to have me and the other guys as role models. This kid is going to get into some shit.
Yeah. Yes. I told Libby, I'm like, you understand you're in a world of hurt right now, right? Like a world. Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to teach him all the wrong things.
So he grows up big and strong. Mm-hmm. That's why. That's why we're going to. Because you can't shelter him, folks. You can't.
No.
You can't. Climb
Swing
that 50-foot tree.
From the treetops.
Yeah. Gotta let him light those fires and go, oh my God, how do I put it out? Figure it out, buddy.
That was usually me.
Yeah.
I was more the pyro. I definitely lit a lot of things on fire. That's for another episode.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think that was a good episode. So I don't know when we'll do a next one. Maybe we do another one before we travel. But I have a thing on my phone. In 19 days and 18 hours, 13 hours, just updated, I get on a plane to go to New Jersey.
Jersey, baby.
Baby. Yeah. So I will see you in like 3 weeks.
We could do a two-parter. Where it's 30 minutes with the spouses. And then another night we do just the two of us outside drinking, philosophizing. At 1 o'clock in the morning.
The 1
a.m. Like we always do.
The 1 a.m. sessions is what we'll call it.
Yeah. And then you guys can see the real shit show.
It may or may not be airable, but it'll be fun regardless. I think that'll be fun. We should definitely do one down the shore.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
All right. Goodbye, my friend.
Goodbye, Daniel. Do we know how to get off here a lot quicker than last time? I leave, you end, right?
Yeah, you leave, I end.